Thank you very much. Hello, Jamie. My friend, how are you?
Greetings, everybody. Hello, Andy. Hello, Scott. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Quite the move in the market today.
Yeah. Didn't have any staying power there towards the latter half, I should say, but we'll talk about that here in the market recap. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. You guys bear with me if I'm sitting here juggling around. I'm actually out of town on my laptop, so I don't have all the computer monitors for me to drop stuff on. So Jamie, if you would kind of keep an eye on the questions panel, since I can't, it's hard for me to pull up and and see my screen. So
Gotcha.
uh, all right, guys, let's get started. Before we do, let's talk about the disclaimer. All right, so guys, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff today. Going to be showing you some great software, and maybe talking about some stock ideas. But just keep in mind that this is for educational purposes only. Anything that you see in here should not be construed as investment advice. You want to seek out somebody with a license, stockbroker, RIA, somebody who can act in that capacity. All right. Let's talk about the 5-star support, education, and training here. You regulars bear with us, but it's important for us to pass this info along to the new guys in here and gals. Guys, we do realize it's a very powerful software, and it's our job to help you along with it and provide you the support, education, and training that you need, and we have tons of it. You can see on my screen here at the top, the Traders Room. I'm sure probably most of you have been in there by now. It is moderated by Barry. He does a great job. It's free for everyone. You do not have to be a subscriber, but we're laying bets that you will once you see and hear everybody using our software and finding great trades. And then we have webinars every day, Monday through Thursday at 5 Eastern time. You can see the lineup on the left side there. One that is missing is the Tuesday webinar. It's the Trade of the Week webinar, so it's a little bit different. It's actually a subscription. And it's usually myself, Jamie or Jamie or Steve kind
Hey,
of
I know that
juggling.
guy.
Yeah, Jamie or Steve juggling around and taking care of the majority of the webinars. But on Wednesday, we give you our CEO, Dan Merkin, and CTO Brad Williams, a great place to come to ask questions, to see what's coming around the corner as far as new gadgets, and just a great place to go and learn more about the product. And then Fridays, you can see, guys, we have a Friday support session. This is a straight up Q&A. Anybody can come in there, and at 11 Eastern time, and scheduled for 3 hours. As long as the questions keep coming, we stay in there and keep answering them. So great hangout. You're going to learn something if you come in there, I guarantee you, even if you don't have a question. All right, and we do have TI University. All right, this is our curriculum broken out in 4 different classes, starting at 101 on Mondays, every Monday at 12 Eastern, and then the same time each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We follow up with 401, finish it out with 401 Advanced. And we have about 30 minutes after each class for Q&A. So, man, if you get in there, if you want to learn about the software, you attend those 4 classes, and I guarantee you're going to have a really good grasp of it. All right, Brokerage Plus, you're going to be hearing a lot. You have heard a lot about this, and you will be hearing a lot more. Great interface. Okay, right now it's only hooked up with IB. I can promise you there's going to be more brokers in the future, but it's going to take some time. First of all, we have to convince the brokers, and I don't know why they would not want it. And then, of course, we have to connect to their API. But now that we've beta tested through IB, it's going to be a lot easier going forward. The beta test is over. People are using it, and you should see our execution growth in the back office. It's something to behold. All right. Let's look at the agenda for today. Okay, we're going to talk about the market recap and the Holly recap, as we always do. And I'm going to take another look at consecutive candles. I'm going to give you an idea of maybe what to look for when you're looking to do some sort of fading strategy. And then I think you guys are going to like this. The topic is hard to go wrong with scoreboard. Okay, that's our stock composite rating. And I'm going to give you a few hints on what to keep your eye on. Whether you're swing trading or day trading, I think, guys, if you pay attention to this kind of stuff, yeah, it's going to put you in the right position to make some decent trades. All right, Jamie, let's back out and pull up the SPY here. Excuse me, I got cords all over the place. All right, come on now. There you go. All right. Let's pull up, let me minimize this until I'm ready for it. And let's pull up the SPY. Come on, baby, don't give me a hard time. A little quirky. All right, so guys, this is what we're looking at right now. And we've had our pullback. Whether it's enough, time will tell. Okay, we've bounced up, off of this very critical level. Going back over here, it probably squeezed a lot of people out a little bit. If you take this up to the high of those levels, you can see we did dip down about 3 days ago, but we closed pretty much right at it. Since then, we've had a few green bars there. Okay, today started out very impressive. Got above the 50, got above the 10 period moving average. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. And now we got close, got up to this level right here. And this is where we finally paused in the market. It had come a long ways in a couple of days. So not surprised we took a little breather at halfway through the day and pretty much just kind of slopped around to the lower end to finish off the day. So what's next? I don't know. I like those days, those real strong days where there's decent volume and they close near highs. Just looking at this with these wicks to the upside, I'm always a little bit wary of those. So we'll have to keep an eye to see what happens. We do need to get back above this 20 period, and this is a critical level right here. You can see this was resistance at one time. Came down several times at this level for about 6 days here, bounced off. Now that we've come back through, what's happening, you can see now this is turning in, sorry, this was support, now it's turning into resistance. And look what's happened here. This day, boom, this day, and now we've got 3 days in a row. So that's going to be a critical level. I think if we can power through this, get through this next couple of days, maybe not tomorrow, but Monday, and then take out this 20, we could be off. Right now, we are looking at a potentially double top, in the market. And it kind of anybody who's been trading for a while, this may kind of remind you of what we saw back in, I believe Jamie, it was like 07 and 08. We had a couple of double tops, very similar to this. It looked very similar to that. I'll have to go back and check later, and I'll get back to you guys next week. Maybe I can find a long-term chart, but I'm pretty sure we had a couple of double tops in 07 and 08, I believe it was, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, I think what you want to see, one thing I was noticing today, and you guys say, how, you can garner something besides trades from Holly. Well, I noticed today, Holly directional bias was great. It was all longs, with a few sprinkled shorts, maybe one or two in there. I'll have to go back and look, but I noticed a lot of stuff just wasn't working. And not only that, they continued to go in the other direction, even after risk off, or the stocks just kept going in the wrong direction. So I said to myself, that's strange. I wonder, and I'm looking around and I'm saying, what's moving this market? And I do not feel like this was like a broad-based market today. I feel like there was a few stocks out there kind of leading the way. Obviously here's my sector down here. You can see what was strong. A couple of IBB was strong. So a couple of strong internet stocks, technology. There was definitely some strong stuff out there, but it was not a broad. I was looking at a lot of stuff that was just rolling over and looking ugly. And so I wasn't surprised, to see, the market when it got up top there, kind of sputter out and basically gave back half of its gains today. If you look at the the intraday here, let me zoom in. Just basically gave up about half of its gains. So we'll have to see what that means going forward. To me, yeah, I never like topping tails like that, but let's see what happens. We did hit resistance, so we'll see. I think that's a key level we need to get through. Otherwise, we may be coming back here and testing this level once again. Real quickly on the Qs, pretty much the same story. A little bit stronger there, but I thought IWM. This one, and that's really ugly there to me. I mean, this gave up three-fourths of its gains. That is a serious topping tail below all its major averages. So you probably want to keep an eye on that. I said keep an eye on the IWM. If this thing does start rolling over and leading us down, it's something you want to watch. And there's not a whole lot healthy in the short term on this IWM. All right, so Jamie, do you have anything you want to add to the overall market recap?
Well, I mean, looking at the SPY on an intraday, like the 15-minute or the 5-minute, I mean, I think it caught me off guard this morning because we had a small gap, which is good. The smaller, the better, right? And then it was like the SPY had helium in it. And a lot of these stocks that were coming by tickers, they were just non-stop. So you're like, oh, well, I feel like I'm chasing, after the first 5,
Right.
10, 15 minutes. And you're like, oh, I feel like I'm chasing. Well, eventually it was a whole hour of up move and then plateau, So,
Yep.
it was a catch-22. You're like, well, I don't want to chase. Well, then everything just kind of flatlined around all day. And, you might have gotten some stocks that maybe if you got in at the right time, you got another 1% move or whatever. But all the steam came out in the first hour. So if you didn't just jump in there after the first 5 or 15 minutes, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity out there after the first hour was done. Then we got into the chop and the little consolidated range up there. So, from the outside, looks like, hey, everybody, should have killed it today, but not quite the case when you were in it at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of reflects in the Holly performance, right? A perplexing day, let's just say that.
And I agree with you. When I look at some of these stocks, I mean, I actually 2.0 was having a really good risk on day, and of course it got caught up in the in this pullback here, and of course gave up. And its best finish was risk off. And I'm looking at Holly Grail, and I'm looking at some of these longs, and I mean, gosh, they just continue to get beat. And when I see that, I'm like, I just didn't feel like it wasn't a broad-based rally. There were a few stocks, earnings, whatever, technology, some news stuff that kind of led the market higher. But boy, there was some stuff out there that wasn't doing anything at all. But
yeah,
we'll see what that means.
Speaking of earnings, Pins released at the close today, so
oh, did it?
not doing too
How'd it
good
do?
in the old post market. It's down to it's down about 5 points, I think, compared to where it closed.
Oh,
It
really?
closed at
I
30.
can always pull it up.
Bottomed out at 24.81 in post market. It's taking a little breather.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, down at 20. Oh, that's ugly. That is ugly.
Anyway.
All right. Well, if you want to take it and take a look at some of the a few of the Holly plays.
Well, sure.
I think there were a couple of good ones out there for sure.
It ain't gonna take too long to go over risk on.
No, that's
Holly.
fine. That's fine.
Let's see. I thought this little guy right here, as soon as I saw Holly spit out this CHRA today, I'm like, yeah, I'll take a piece of that. I mean, the potential is huge, anywhere in this bar in here, and the volume was crazy on that stock early in the morning, but that one didn't work out so well either. Pump, we had a little bit of risk off, risk on spread in there, about 26 cents, which unfortunately is one of the bigger risk on spreads today. We got a 20 center in AXSM. Of course, AXSM has been pretty hot as of late, but let's just take a look at the pump here. And And this is exactly what I was referring to earlier, Andy. Look,
Hmm.
one of the better trades for Holly today, but look at, 1, 2, 3, 4, the first hour. I mean, this pattern here is repeated over and over again
Yep.
um, throughout, the indices, a lot of stocks. So, most of the juice came out in the hour. Of course, Holly gets it long here. And what do we get? We get the sideways action. A lot of them were grinding higher with a little bit of action in them. A lot of them were stopping people out up here. But needless to say, Holly did manage to squeak out 19 cents on the timed hold up there. But I mean, compare this to when she got in it, just, the tail end of the move there. So obviously the shaded areas, Holly pulling the plug on it on the timed exit. Would not been that far of a stretch to go, hey, you know, break even stop would have kept us in this one, barely, but it would have. So you could have squeaked out another, well, almost made double there. Not a huge dollar amount, but 19 cents versus 45 cents. We got 26 cents in there that you could have gleaned. Got a little bit of that. ARQL, pretty much the same, boom, boom, up to the top. More of the same. 18 cents in this one. Then we have AXSM, and this little guy's been hot for a number of days. Been seeing this guy come across my assortment of windows over and over again. One of the I do believe that's a smaller cap stock. What's that market cap at? Yeah, it's not even $1 billion. It's like 766 million. Chart looks a little different, a little bit more conducive to the upside after, we're not seeing that same pattern run to the top in the first hour. But not the prettiest thing on the planet. Holly makes the entry here. What do we get? We get sideways action. Actually, she pulls the plug on this one for a break even on profit save. If you were going to stay in this one, you would have had no choice but to stick to the hard stop and, get a little bit more of a push. But there just wasn't a whole lot of meat on the bone on a lot of these trades with Holly today. And as you said, not only did they fail to get green, but once they flipped over, they tended to keep on going. So,
Hmm.
what you said earlier, Andy, makes a lot of sense. There were a few stocks pulling the market up, got some earnings plays, but it definitely did not feel like a broad-based rally. It seemed like the big caps, everything that I'm looking at from my turbo up family no resistance,
Hmm.
look, there it is again, the run in the first hour,
Hmm.
the run in the first hour, AXP. This little guy ground up all day, American Express, but earnings were, that thing reported a while back. So it just seemed like a handful of stocks were doing this. A
Yep.
lot of these guys at all-time highs. Um, and then the rest, it was pretty much a crapshoot today.
It
Um,
was.
you know, saw a few decent downside plays, but that juice didn't last for long either. A lot of stocks looked like they started good trends to the downside, but quickly reversed. A lot of wicks at the bottom. So, looking back in retrospect from an outsider's perspective, it looks like, you could have just cleaned house today. But it's like we talked about back in the old days, Andy. You know, market might have went down during the day, but finished, up a little bit, and everybody's, well, the markets are up today. If you went long, you did quite well. Whereas, in reality, the money was mainly on the short side after everything was said and done. So I don't know, kind of a perplexing day to say the least. Even though we were nice and green, wasn't near as easy as it looked.
No, I feel the same way, and that's the thing with Holly, you can have these days. I mean, yesterday was a good day, wasn't it? And
Hmm. Yeah, she's
Monday
been
was a
pretty
Monday was a
decent.
real good.
Been,
Was Monday the day it was all shorting, or was that Friday?
all the
That was
days this
Friday,
week
maybe.
are blurring together.
I know.
The week's just kind of melted by, and tomorrow's
Yep.
already Friday. But yeah, been decent performance most of the week, and now an off
Yep.
day. But hey, that's trading. Whether you're
Well,
in
here's another thing you got to keep in mind. If it's not, if Sunrise Mover, is the only one that's really going to fire real early. So a lot of our strategies are set, for 30, at least 30 or 45 minutes. And, and today, boy, if you waited that long, you kind of missed the move. But
exactly,
mhm.
and
Yeah,
once again, just to reflect, you know, especially if you look at a smaller time frame here, you know, you're like, okay, I'm feeling chasey. You know, if you didn't get anything, whether it's the SPY, SPXL, any of that stuff, you're like, yeah, I'm chasey, you know, and then,
Yep.
you know, that's what we're trained to do. Don't chase, don't
Yep.
chase. And today,
Exactly.
if you didn't chase or you didn't get in right in the, you know, you could use the opening 1 minute candles and the lows of those, but sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. But today it worked on just about everything that was coming through my tickers. But once again, this felt like I was chasing things, so I wasn't aggressive as I should have been.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jamie. Well, good job. And yeah, you could pass it this way if you
All
like.
right, back
We
over to
can
you,
get
sir.
going. All right. Let me. Here we go. Can you see? I take it you can see.
Yes, sir. I
Uh-oh.
was
We
talking
lose
to you
Jamie.
with it.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just talking with my mute
Oh.
button.
Oh. All
You're all good
right.
to go.
All right. Okay, guys. The other day I shared with you guys this a couple of weeks ago, and I'll be happy to drop it in back into the chat room if somebody says that they do not have it and they'd like to get it. This consecutive 15-minute candles, and once again, this is just a top list. And if I go to configuration, you're going to see there's not a lot in here. Okay, it's just looking for stocks that has either 5 consecutive candles, 15-minute candles up, or 5 consecutive 15-minute candles down. So it's great about our software. You can put all these into one window. Anything in between is just eliminated by the setup of the configuration in the back here. And then, yeah, just a volume filter today, making sure they're doing enough volume, and price 1 to 500. So pretty simple configuration. The key is the sorting by the consecutive 15-minute candles. Now, here's what I'm going to show you today. Okay, so for those of you guys who like to try, to fade, try fading strategies. Okay, if you look here in the spiders, and let me zoom in so you can see it better, more closely. All right, so you saw the market open up today, and like Jamie and I have been said, had a big move in the first hour, and then just kind of just grinded higher for a little bit in about another hour, and then you can see it got real, just tired. It seemed like tried to poke through right there, came right back down. So, and not only that, you're running into resistance over here on the spiders. So this is when something like this can come in really handy. All right, you can look for overextended stocks, that may be running into an area of resistance, or just tired out after 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive 15-minute candles, and maybe look for a fading strategy. Okay, to enter a short position. All right, so what are you looking for, when you get in there? Okay, let's take a look at some of these. BMY. All right, there's BMY. It finally petered out, but after a scare right there. But I'm going to kind of go through a few of these. We're going to see which ones that really kind of worked really good. There's Celgene. It took a while. Okay, if you faded it on the bar reversal right here, you never, it churned sideways, but you never really experienced any pain. Cisco, okay, this was an earnings play. I would not have touched this, because it's an earnings play. It's very strong, huge volume today. I stay away from things like that. JD had a little pullback here, but what I'm going to show you here, guys, let me just kind of zoom out on the daily. All right. And what I like to look for when I'm playing these, or maybe chart patterns that are not that strong. Okay, the daily chart patterns. And if I come down here to SWK, you're going to see this was a very nice short right here, because it had 8 candles in a row, and then you had your big red one, and it immediately dropped and kind of went sideways a little bit, and then dropped some more. Some nice alpha, a lot of, but look over here on the daily. Look at this daily pattern compared to some of those other ones I just showed you that were up near, they're 10% from their all-time highs or 52-week highs, whatever. So when I'm playing something like this, guys, I'm looking for charts like this, charts that are in kind of a downtrend. You can see right here, big gap down. That was probably earnings. And then it's been in a downtrend, then has a big move today right into its 10-period moving average. Okay. Not only that, you kind of have some resistance over here, resistance level right there. So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I'm not looking to short a stock at all-time highs just because it had 15 candles in a row. It may have 20 candles in a row. Let's see if we can find any other examples. UTX, that one didn't work. If you shorted it up here, it took another little, move higher, but I can see what it was attracted to. It was attracted to that 10-period moving average. Unlike the one we just showed you, this SWK, that actually kind of ran right into its moving average. Okay, so there's a difference there. You wanna find a level, that is a defined level. Not only that, it probably wanted to get over here and mess with this resistance a little bit higher. All right, UPLD, what is this right here? Okay, there's an example of a stock that's in a nice uptrend above all of its moving averages. Probably not one I would try, even though it worked for a little bit and then bounced back up, and just kind of, you didn't have the same kind of movement as you did on this SWK. Shop, I don't even have to look at this to tell you I wouldn't touch it. The thing is freaking all-time highs, and there you go. Here's one on all-time highs, doing incredible, and what you had, maybe maybe a 0.5% move down before it right back to highs. That's the kind of stuff you want to avoid. You don't want to jump in front of that train. So keep an eye on the daily. There's another one. Beautiful daily, huge move today. May have had earnings. I'm not going to look to see if it had earnings, but you can see there, got your reversal there. You got a little bit of juice, but nothing like you see on the ones that, trying to find another example or two. There's another one I probably wouldn't touch, and it moves sideways. There's one that paid pretty good, but I'm not seeing. Well, that one's pretty strong. It's not at all-time highs, but nonetheless, that would have worked for you there. Mondelez, once again, probably wouldn't have touched it. It broke, gave you a little bit of juice, but nothing big. This is a little bit better. I mean, it really, you got it there, and it took a little bit while, but you can see it's much further lower than the ones we were looking at all-time highs. And that's probably one I would give a shot there too. And I know there's another one in here somewhere. That one I probably wouldn't have touched. AXP, we just talked about that. Wouldn't have touched that. There's probably where your reversal right there, and you got chopped off. I know I was looking through here earlier. Now that one, and found a good example. Now there's a pretty good one. Ross Stores, there you go. Downtrend, okay, you can see the trend line right there, ran right into its 20, and then, it didn't do it right at this bar reversal, but, no pain, and then you had a pretty good move down with the market. And I think it might be this one. Fastenal. Yeah, that's the beautiful one right there. See the difference between, look, this chart, SWK, see this resemblance there? I mean, these are not good looking daily bullish charts, and look at the movement you're getting on these ones. So remember, guys, it only takes one good trade. And there's another beautiful one. So you got fast right here, okay, ran into some level right there, but look at that. As soon as you got that bar reversal, man, that was just paid. And look at this ALNY. Once again, very ugly downward sloping chart. I think you guys are getting the picture. Once it broke, look at that payoff you had. So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for if I'm trading these 15-minute candles. I'm not looking to, be the hero. Oh man, shop, it's up X amount, it's gone up 150 cents in 6 months. I'm gonna short it. Trust me, there's a lot of guys out there like that. Don't be that guy. All right. Find the ones that are weak on the daily. Okay, those are the ones that's going to pay you, because I can promise you this: Anybody long stuck in this thing that got lucky down here and got a bounce probably got out, you know, as soon as they see this action. All right, just remember all these little candlestick patterns are emotions. All right, and when you have people that you know, buried in this ugly looking chart, they will try to get out on any kind of up move, and anybody's trying to pick a bottom, or they're rushing out as well. So I gave you 3 good examples that you could have found on this today, and that's the kind of stuff I'd be looking for, you know, when you're looking to short these or fade these consecutive 15-minute candles. And Jamie, I don't have my questions panel up because, like I said, it kind of blocks too much of my screen. So let me know if you have any, if you're
Nope,
seeing any questions out there.
We're all good.
Perfect.
All clear.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share this because, let me put it back on real time. You know what? I'm not going to share this one anyway. I'm going to grab one from here. Oh wait, why did I do that? All right, so anybody that doesn't have this, I'm going to drop it into the chat window and just call it consecutive candles. I'm going to put can. All right. And what we're able to do for you guys in here kicking the tires, we're able to share our scans. I just drop the cloud link in there, and that's the code. They can grab that, and they'll have access to this window. All right, let me get a drink of water. And move on to the next topic, which is, I'm trying not to go back to my cheat sheet. Yeah, there's only one more. I'm not going to go back there. I know what it is. I gotta grab me a composite rating. All right. So guys, get out your pen and paper. I think you're gonna enjoy this. Okay. So I pulled up the composite rating. Okay, guys, what the composite rating is, it's something that I developed along with Michael Noss. Okay, and what it is, it's about 17 metrics. Most of them technical, but we do have some good fundamental stuff in there, okay? And then we rate stocks. Any stock that you pull up will have a composite rating on it based upon its technical strength or weakness, and also a few fundamental metrics. This has been a really good little tool, guys, and if you haven't used it, you probably should start taking a look at some of this stuff, because it really can point out some real strength and weakness. And so what I've done is I pulled up the composite rating. Okay, this is my window. Everything has to be over 90, which is a good rating. Okay, anything in the upper 90s is great. All right. So I pulled up this composite rating. You see on here on the date. Okay, it's the close. I'm on Central Time, so this is the close on 5/14, which is 2 days ago. All right, let's just take a look at the SPYs and take a look at what the market looked like 2 days ago. All right, so I didn't want to grab the bottom down here, right? That's not fair, you know, because anything around. So what I did is I grabbed it from 2 days ago right here, and I wanted to take a look at some of the stocks that were showing relative strength, okay, in this market that had really pulled back a good bit here over the last month or last 2 weeks. And I wanted to show the ones that are showing good relative strength on this day. And as there's some things I want you to keep an eye on, guys, when I pull this up. I'm kind of going to give you some hints on the fundamentals we use. It's okay because you don't know where the values are in those fundamentals, but I'm going to kind of give you, you're going to see something in common in probably the top 10 stocks here that were holding up the best. Of all the stocks in all the 4 major exchanges, the ones that were holding up the best when the market was on this day 2 days ago. I got tickled the other day. This ZS was the highest one on our rating. And then and IBD gave it. It was, they called it the stock of the day. Then that same day. Anyway, had a nice push. This was back on
Nice.
this day, I believe, right here. Yeah. hmm Kind of proud of that one. They're looking at our score. uh, so anyway, let's take a look at some of these. Okay, this is the day we're looking at right here. All right, remember the close on this day right here. This is the highest rated stock. Okay, look at the subsequent move we've had over the last couple of days. Now, you know, that IBD making the stock of the day probably, I'm sure it helped, but nonetheless, we had it as our, even before that came out. Okay, it was high, it was way up there at the top. All right, so look at some of these metrics over here, okay? And my most important ones are right here in the top left quadrant, okay? And especially this one right here, quarterly. This is what, if I expanded this out, let me just go ahead and do that so you can see it. Quarterly revenue growth, 65%. All right. All right. CINF. Whoa. Quarterly revenue growth, 76.4. ACGL. And you can see 2 days, you know, prior. Now the market has had a move up, so obviously that has something to do with it. But the topic of this discussion was hard to, you know, something, what I say, hard to go wrong with scoreboard. ACGL. All right, here it was. This is the day, and since then it's got real close. Ooh, I have to mark that up right there. I don't think it tickled it today, did it? It may have. I'll have to go back and look. Once again, quarterly revenue, not bad, 34%. Look at that. Just nice little setup right there. EVBG, 40% quarterly revenue growth. WPC, another decent move, 40%. Guys, quarterly revenue growth is a very, probably one of the most, you know, important metrics when it comes to fundamentals. And as far as I'm concerned, that was a nice little pattern right there setting up. Oh, Steve, I think he marked this up actually on his in Tuesday webinar. I know he did. Now he marked that one up, and look at there, nice little 43% quarterly revenue growth. There's some other important metrics in here, guys, but I want to focus on the quarterly revenue growth, because this is not sorted by quarterly revenue growth. This is just happens to be the highest scores listed, you know, on that day. Here's another one, Coop, for close to 40% there. So you're starting to see a pattern here. And the reason, look at that one, 79% quarterly revenue growth. Not bad. A lot of debt, not crazy about that debt, but still, nonetheless, quarterly revenue growth is, at this point, is trumping the debt. Okay, so I'm getting down now. This, okay, it's starting to drop off a little bit, and then look what happened. This one didn't go as high. Only 26% there, so nothing to write home about. But yeah, I just showed you right there. Basically, the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I looked at right there all had quarterly revenue growth of about 40 or near 40% or higher. Some of them, you know, 60, 70%. And I wanted to bring that to your attention, guys, because it is a very important metric. So if you're looking, you know, you see a lot of these momentum stocks, you know, you can keep your eye on that. Amazon was one of them over the years. Now, you know, let's see, it's not as impressive, because, but probably the last, you know, 10 years leading up to this, every time you pull that up, that would have something like, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60%. I can't even imagine, but they've had huge. Of course, now they're so big. I mean, for them to have, you know, get up around 60 or 70 would just be asinine. But anyway, guys, yeah, keep an eye on that. I think it can help you guys when you're looking at some of these, especially. And I said for day trading or swing trading. Obviously, you can see some nice little setups in the day trading time frame. I like this mostly, for well, I'm kind of stuck with swing trading now because I'm busy with trade ideas, but you can get some really good ideas, and I wanted to point that out to you guys. Keep an eye on that quarterly revenue growth. It's a very important metric, and I think it really can help you with your trading. And use this composite rating. I know some of you guys in here use it. It can really help you. And I don't know where my questions panel is. There it is. Make sure, because I see you answering some questions now. We all caught up?
Yeah, Andy, I
Yeah,
believe
it looks
we
like we
are.
are. Okay, good. All right. Real quickly, I mean, I will kind of point out some of the things that are important. Earnings per share is somewhat important. Cash to debt is somewhat important. But when you see that quarterly revenue growth, guys, up there around 40, 50 or more or higher, man, that's usually a nice metric to keep an eye on. And as I showed you right there, the highest composite ratings. I mean, they still have to hold up technically. I mean, trust me, if this chart right here falls out of bed and for any reason at all, yeah, this score is going to tank regardless of the quarterly revenue growth. But there seems to be a correlation here between really strong scores and the quarterly revenue growth. Now, not all of them are going to be. There's a 53%. Nah, never mind. All I had to see is gold. Gold stock. Oh, it's one of the few gold stocks that are holding up, though. I can tell you that. So if gold does get a bounce, it's probably one I'd keep an eye on. There's another one, 33%, 34%, 25%. All right, guys, that's I didn't really have a whole lot more, I mean, to present to you guys today. I mean, we can open this up for any questions, Q&A, or if you guys have any stock charts that you'd like to look at, I could definitely, take a look at those as well. Still got a decent crowd in here.
Looks like AMAT.
What do you mean, Bill? What's he talking about? Oh, VYGR. Let's take a look at that. He says it has a huge quarterly revenue growth. That it does. And you can see score. What's the score on this one? Where'd my score go? Oh, there it is. 91. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. No follow. Didn't have any follow through today, but one I'd keep an eye on. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, Jamie. Everything's blooming.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Pollen City right now.
Yeah. Yes, great quarterly revenue growth here. No debt. There's a lot of good things about this Voyager Therapeutics. A little bit skeptical about the scary. I'm always scared holding those overnight. Earnings per share is still kind of weak there, but yeah, maybe one to keep an eye on for a momentum trade. That's for sure. AVAV. All right, Julie, let's take a look at AVAV. Let me expand my daily out real quick. Let me shrink my chart up. I mean, my questions panel if I can. It's not letting me. All right, AVAV. Let me, yeah, I mean, it's making an effort. Okay, it's definitely making an effort. Looks like they had a goose here, 3 days ago? That was probably earnings. All right. I mean, I see a very strong level I'd keep an eye on. All right, and that's right there. I would love to see it trade above there. Okay, you have this high we got close to probably the day after earnings. Let me just make sure that it did have, no, I'm not showing an earnings state. I'm not sure why that gapped up. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things can be said bad about this chart. It's obviously in a downtrend. So something like this, yes, I would like to see it get above this level right here. You might want to put a price alert because that would be some serious resistance, overhead resistance that it's breaking. Below that, yeah, you got to be careful because the longer term trend is down. Good day to day, but the relative volume wasn't that strong. Doesn't do a whole lot of volume. But yeah, keep an eye on that level. May not be that bad. All right, what else we got here? Is that FG, Bill? Were you pointing out another high quarterly revenue, or are you just asking me to look at it? Okay, he was pointing out, yep, 334%, and not bad, not bad. Strong too, look at it. Just recently today, looked like it hit a multi-month. Let's see how far back it goes. Yeah, not bad. And a decent score. So man, yeah, that's one, that's one probably want to keep an eye on if you can get back above these couple of wicks right here. Take a look at the longer term. Yeah, definitely have some, some level, definitely got a huge resistance level right here. So I'd want it to trade through with some serious volume because it's going to have a hard time right there. But yeah, a lot of good things to say about that. Got a lot of cash. All right, let's see. MRTX short in the AM thoughts. All right, let's see what Bill's looking at here. Yeah, ugly looking candle today. I don't know if that was earnings. Was that earnings? No, earnings were 12 and a half. Probably, yeah, probably thought they had some good news, but not as good as they thought. You can see there tried to move higher this morning, but an ugly little tail there. Yeah, that may be one to keep an eye on. Now it is back above some key moving averages here, but yeah, I could see that if it broke through this level right here, could be a decent short, especially if it got below the 50. Yeah, that you don't like to see though. If you're long, that's not what you want to see. Try to move higher, and then ugly topping wicks. You can see anytime it seems it wants to get higher, that's followed by some down movement. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a good short, maybe for a gap fill. Yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on. Be careful swing trading those either direction because news comes out and can wipe you out if you're holding on to those things.
Yeah, next on the list
Overstock
here.
is. Go ahead, Jamie.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say the next question down, AM was asking, can you have 5 consecutive candles and 8 consecutive candles in the same top list? Yeah, it depends on if you're talking about, separate time frames or the same time frame, and then you can just view the column and see, okay, this one's up 5, this one's up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can kind of stack that data whichever way you'd like to see it. And as I said there in the questions panel, assuming I understand the question, what he's asking there.
Yeah, yeah. The easiest way to do it is just put a minimum of 5, like I did, and then just use your sort. Just use your sort for consecutive candles, and that way you can see them all.
Yep.
You can always go in there, yeah, and change that 5 to an 8, and you'll only see 8 consecutive candles. But I think the easiest way is just to do it like I have it and just sort by the consecutive candles, and that way the most consecutive candles will always be on top. All right, we'll real quickly with a few more, and then we got to wind down. Overstock, I probably, that one is just taking a beating. Yeah, I don't see, longer term. It's on an all-time low, it looks like, or at least close to it. Yeah, all-time low. You may get somebody defending it around the 10 mark, but yeah, no, I can't give you an opinion on any sort of long there. That's in a death march, okay, and really it would have to get back above this level right here to even be of any interest to me. I mean, if you like trying to play overextended bounces, you know, you can, but don't catch a falling knife. Wait for it to stabilize. Um, all right. Okay, you have a bunch of them in there. I only have to do time to do a couple. He says A, B, M, D, and this is going to be all guys. A, B, M, D. If I can type. Uh, all right, another surgical mechanical. Yeah, it looks like it's trying, but you can see here it just really keeps getting rejected at some of these moving averages it tried today. Something like this, you can see it's been an ugly kind of downtrend. You know, so gosh, you know, I like the fact that it tried to go low right here and then had a huge bounce day. Okay, that's showing me that there's definitely some buyers at this level, and so potentially it's trying to turn around. But honestly, you know, to really, it would need to get probably above this level right here and get back above that 50 moving average. I mean, if you want to try to play it for a bounce, I'm sure a lot of people did today and just got wicked right back down. You know, or maybe you can use the high of this bar the day it had this huge volume, maybe above that level for a nice little, you know, scalp or something. But yeah, it's still in a very ugly trend. I think if it got above this level, this first line I drew, it'd be breaking this downtrend, and above it's 50, and that would be more constructive. But, and then I'll do REGN real quick, and that was coming through the downside today too, wasn't it? Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I don't see anything here, you know, worth, you know, once again, ugly downtrend below all its moving averages. Nothing bullish about that chart. Filled the gap today and came right back down, closed. I mean, honestly, you know, it's probably a better short than long, but I'm not telling you to go short it. I'm just saying it's trending lower. All the moving averages are going lower, so just not a whole lot there. All right, guys. Thank you for all your good questions. Thank you, Waleed. All righty, I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Looks like I got everything. Scott, if you want to come back in and walk us out, I'll bring you back up. You guys hang on. There's a good code floating around out there.
Yeah.
Let me put it on the right. Let me put it on the right thing for you.
Yeah. So a couple items on the way out. There is an ebook that both Andy and Jamie contributed chapters to. Very good thing to have. Just go to trade-ideas.com/ebook and put in your email address to enjoy it. It's got some really great advice. We've been recommending it for a while. We've got a new one on the way in a week or two, so stay tuned for that one. We have a podcast that we release almost weekly, so stay tuned for new episodes. I think we are having a guest interview. I don't know if it will be up for tomorrow or if we're going to release it next week, but if not, then we might have Dan and Jamie tomorrow. So just search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe. You can use the code HollyMay for the rest of the month to save 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas, so you can take advantage of that. Also to do an upgrade from standard to premium. And email all your questions to info@trade-ideas.com. And you can follow Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot. There's also at Today Trader at Trade Ideas. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TradeIdeasPro. We're going to have a recording of this up later on tonight or tomorrow. So keep an eye out for an email tomorrow about how to find it. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.